Well, we just spent about 5 minutes talking about what our intro should be, which we should have recorded that whole thing because it was probably funny. And also, I wish that we could have asked you guys to hear our banter over the past 5 minutes and tell us if you think we need an intro or what it should be. We don't want it to be produced. We're not about that over here at Seth Said What. It's unproduced, raw, but maybe there should be some consistency on how we open. So, what do you think, Dan?
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of culture. So we just talked about a couple different examples, whether it's 70 millimeter, shout out to 70 millimeter podcast. If you're a movie lover, you would love that podcast. And one of your favorites.
Conan needs a friend.
So shout out Conan O'Brien. If you want to come talk about Seth Godin,
Oh,
that would be mind blowing.
mind
Uh,
blowing.
but they have these pieces of culture that are even built into their intros, and we won't talk about them here. So if you really want to explore these awesome pieces of culture from the very first second, go check out those podcasts. But we were just trying to figure out, like, what's our culture like as we talk every day. What's our culture going to be? So we haven't landed somewhere, but
Open to thoughts.
open to ideas,
Yeah, for sure.
thoughts.
All right. Well, with that, should we read today's? It's a short one that I love. You want me to read it?
Yeah, we've got a golden cookie.
A golden cookie. A golden. I keep saying golden. Golden cookie. Okay. It's called
Yeah, so our transcript also thinks that it's golden. It's like the golden cookie. I'm like, no, it's golden ticket. This is a golden cookie.
golden cookie. Okay. It's called making a point. Might not be the same as making an impact. Making a point doesn't take very long and it can be gratifying in the moment. Making an impact happens over time and rarely brings the same sort of short term glee. So good. Oh,
Yeah. So I feel like uh, a part of our lives, Holly, and I love that in a former place of employment, you had a team that had an ongoing list of some things that you disliked, but I think it was
hates
called
list.
things Holly hates. And it's I thought of that because you and I are both, like, we can both be pretty opinionated. Um, and oftentimes I find myself trying to make a point. Like, here here's the point. And it's true, like, if you can convince someone of your point, um that's probably because there's like some amount of like short-term little power, like you feel powerful or you feel affirmed or validated, vindicated. I don't know, whatever fancy V word. Um, but it's true that, like, ultimately the impact of many. Okay, so maybe I'm stepping into this as like a question.
Okay.
I'm like, could impact actually be many important points over time? So it's like it's kind of playing the infinite game
Simon Sinek.
in a way. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes. So, real time, me, I always just like jump to like practicality, and you're so good at like asking the very thoughtful, thought provoking questions. And I'm like, but how does this apply to me today? So, to take your question and apply today, so we launched Get Mom Ready yesterday. We posted it on, um, social media and out into the world. And I can see views. I can see views like on our Substack, and I can see listens, like, or like downloads, I guess. I always think that's so confusing, downloads versus listens on podcasts. Whatever.
Yeah, who knows what that
The
means?
point is, I can see these like high level data points, but like, to be honest, the ones that I like was measuring success by up until about 40 minutes ago, which I'll tell you about in a second, um, was paid subscribers because I'm an entrepreneur and I need to make money, right? And thank you to my dear friend Kelly, who was our very first, before we even launched anything, she bought an annual because she just wanted to support us and she's the best. But we didn't get any other besides Kelly. We didn't have any other paid subscribers. And so I'm like, my personality, not even 24 hours in, I'm like, this is gonna fail. What am I doing? We've spent, 4 months leading up to this, etc. And then I just just finished a call with my coach, and she was like, don't even look at the numbers for a year because it takes time. She said something like, and I wish I would have written it down, but it was basically like what stuck with me was by showing up and being consistent, you're building the fortitude to get better. And I was like,
Mm.
so I think to me, when I read this, Seth is saying, sure, if I want to go viral, like I could make a point, I could post a thing, make a point, go viral, get a lot of likes, maybe, tons of comments, whatever. But am I really making an impact to your question? Like to make an impact over time, it's consistency and showing up and having the benchmark of like life change versus money. Like if I'm impacting people's lives, the money will take care of itself. Um so anyway, I do think making an impact is making points over time because I think it's like more of the consistency of showing up over time. And that I just really appreciated her. She was like, "You're getting better. Like you're probably not very good right now, but you will get better if you keep showing up." Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. I think we're kind of crossing over into a very uh, Godin adjacent author in Gladwell's 10,000 Hours concept. Like, show up for a long time in the same direction. Um, yeah. And you accrue effortless excellence.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, and honestly, I feel it even in what we're doing. And I know it's like, we have a small but loving audience in our Seth Said What Nation. Seth Said What?
Says I what?
But like which thank you for putting up with us. But I feel like I don't know, I feel an improvement in myself and how to articulate ideas, even in just the consistency of getting together and taking something I've not thought about a lot and trying to piece it together in a way that's coherent and relevant and sharing that space like with you. And that, there's something we're cultivating something, even if it's only inside of like myself. It's if it starts here and then we together are, and then hopefully as a little community around Seth Godin nerds. Yeah, I don't know. I feel encouraged by that and the concept of just putting in the time, showing up. And it's funny because when you like, I feel like me again. I have a lot of points that I would love to get off my chest with in the context where it would make sense. Um, but ultimately, I would agree. Like, it's actually not about that point. It is about the fact that I want to be a catalyst for change, or I want to inspire. And the point may feel like the short win, but again, to actually inspire, to make a difference, it is. It's the long road of the little pieces that make an impact. Whether it is making a point or whether it's like, I mean, I've had a lot of conversations recently, Holly, um, where I've been told you've made an impact, and
Yeah.
to be honest, some of it's just holding space for people, and when listening can become that that impact. When I mean, isn't that weird? Like we think that pushing forward and advancing our thought or our point is how we make an impact, but sometimes, as it turns out, it's creating space for someone to make their point that makes an impact, or for being a good listener and really just having compassion for someone in a moment that really when when a person has an opportunity to reflect, they're like, that was impactful for me. The fact that you listened, or the fact that you defended me in something, or yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mm,
because well, especially now more than ever when everything is so fast-paced, we're inundated with messages and tasks and, in theory, if we really wanted to, we could work all the time or work on something or create. Maybe work isn't even the right word, like create all the time, because of the amazing technology that we have in our hold in our hands through our devices. And so for someone to take the time to slow down and listen to us is so impactful because not many people hold space for that anymore. I mean, we don't even do it for, I mean, I'll speak for myself. Like, I don't even, today I sat, it was beautiful here this morning. It was woke up to like 66 degrees in Houston, Texas. You
Mhm.
guys, that is like a miracle. So I took a minute. I took Iris to daycare and then I sat on the porch with a journal that I'm working through right now. And I was like, when is the last time that I did this? It's like, it's honestly probably been since COVID. Like, I was in
Wow,
a
yeah.
coaching group where, and because we just had, obviously I feel like we all had,
What else are you gonna do?
yeah, what else are you gonna do? And I would sit on the porch and journal for like 20 minutes every morning. It's been years and it was so, and like, I just felt my brain activate, like to not be on my phone,
Mm,
be answering these questions in this journal, with my cup of coffee. And it was only like maybe 15 minutes. But it was so nice because I was slowed down enough to do it. So when we do that for other people, not only ourselves, it makes such an impact. So it's a good reminder.
yeah.
I like
Hmm.
it. Point versus impact.
It's crazy what can come out of these golden cookies sometimes.
Right? Uh, I actually, it's
It's
probably
cool.
more of just, it's just my wiring, but I get more out of his short points have more of an impact on me
Y-
than the longer ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's because partially because it. How about that like adolescent crack in my voice that just
Your
happened?
low
I think part of
high.
it's. Uh, yeah, I think part of it's because it leaves space to think and meander instead of narrowing in a point. So anyway, that's great. Cool. And hey, I've heard you talk about, I'm reading through this book and I'm taking the time to try to journal. And I know you said you just did it like for the first time in 5 years or whatever, but like, well done. I feel like I aspire to this, like probably many people listening to this. I aspire to this, to be working on a book or something. And I'm like, man, how do you have time? But again, to earlier points, like you gotta find the time to carve out things for priority. So like, good for you, and it's hopefully an inspiration to not just me but others to like, yeah, actually go read a book.
Well, and I will say I'm listening to most of the books I'm quote
That counts. That counts. That counts.
but well, it worked for me. Well, and 2 things. 1, so I felt like I needed to have something to work through right now just to take the, like, decision out of my brain, and so I bought it's like read the gospel. It's like a read the gospel in 30 days journal thing. So it'll, like, give you, like, read
Okay,
1 through
cool.
3, and then it's, like, 4 questions that you journal through. But I'm already, like, 2 weeks behind. Like, literally, I finished the first, quote, "day" today because it's, like, 3
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So the point is, like, I'm even letting myself it's like, "Thank you for I'm receiving your compliment, thank you." But also letting myself be like, "It's taken me 2 weeks to do 1 day of the 30-day devotional," because 'cause I've, like, answered a question, and then Iris, like, of course, wants to take it and, like, figure out what I'm looking at, or I
yeah.
don't take the time and to do it, and so, it's, like, messy, but we're doing it.
It's awesome. Keep going. It's a long journey in the same direction.
Exactly. Alright, well, hope you have a great day, and, oh, and wanted to say thank you to Dale Dorman's comment. He left a really great comment on our
Yeah.
I was gonna see if I could pull it up on yesterday's about Monday. He said he had a hot take. I'm gonna have to disagree with Seth on this one. I believe people have to change their own perspective or circumstances. Otherwise, it seems like you're just pandering to them. I would want to know how people respond on their own level, and perhaps I'm the one who needs to change to get the response you're looking to achieve. I've learned that you don't manage people, you manage processes. I like the hot take, Dale Dorman. It's good stuff.
Yeah. It's similar to how we were wrestling through that as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. All right. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Allie.